Howdy howdy, this is Sir Eggplant in World of Tanks. Looks like there's been a new update to World of Tanks. It's 7.2. Just recently they had the 7.1.1 update, and I didn't notice some major changes. I hadn't been playing for a few months and jumped back on about 2 weeks ago. And I noticed some small changes. Of course, the fringe tanks have been around for a few months now, and a couple of small little map updates. But it looks like there's some really big ones here. I'm just going to run through a few of them that I've seen. You can find all of these updates on worldoftanks.com/en/release_notes, and I'll probably throw up a link here at the bottom of the video when I'm done with it today. The first one that I got is there's new skills. I actually got a lot of low-level tanks. I think my highest level right now is 4-level tanks, a couple 4s. Nothing above that, so none of my guys actually maxed out. I hadn't gone through and bought any higher level experience, so most of them that I have, I've actually brought them up, like this guy right here, this self-propelled gun for the M37. I brought that up to 75 just from just fighting. But they got some nice little items here. We got the ones that were here before: repairs, firefighting, camouflage. All of y'all will recognize those as the skills that you had before. And they have new perks and skills. This guy right here, he's one of the commanders. He's got a couple new skills: Mentor, Recon, Sixth Sense, Eagle Eye, and Jack of all trades. They all do a couple of new different things. Nice little bonuses. The Brother in Arms skill is actually on all of your tankers here. So we'll pull up another guy here, check his skills. And he'll also have the Brother in Arms will not have the same like Mentor. He's got a signal boosting because he's a radio operator. And now they're split up in two different categories. We have skills and perks. The skills are just working just like all the other, kind of similar to the old skills. Once you hit 100% for your training level, when that maxes out, then you can choose the one you want, and then you begin training on that item. But it's become effective immediately. So if you want to be a mentor, all your other crewmates will get a bonus to their skills for that time being, starting at that lowest level. The perks work a little bit differently. The perk only works when the effect has reached 100%. So you have to get your training level for your commander, for example, here, up to 100%, and then you need to train that Sixth Sense up to 100% before it becomes effective. Now, somebody please let me know if I'm wrong about that, but that's what it seems like it is for me. So we'll have to see here in the next couple of weeks actually how it actually plays out with these different perks and skills. A couple other items. I do kind of like this. On the right, everyone might realize that we got your hit points, your weight, speed, everything else over on the right, all your stats for your vehicles. And in the past, those stats actually reflected as if your crew was at 100% trained and had, I believe, all the perks and probably things like chocolate and all the other benefits. They kind of dumbed that down a little bit, which is nice. Now it's just for 100%. It's still higher than most people, but it's what you can get right out the door if you buy the gold. But now with the additional skills, the possibilities of what you're going to get on the right side might be slightly different based on different skills. I think there's a new armorer skill that that's available that it can increase the armor and self-preventative maintenance and a whole bunch of other things that can actually adjust these numbers over here. What else? There's 2 new maps. Have not played them yet. Actually, it took a little longer than I expected to get this update up and running. So haven't actually jumped into play, but I will here soon. But I'd like to go ahead and get this video knocked out. But there's one, it's called Province, it's an Italian map, and the other one's Live Oaks, and it's an American map. Looks like I'm small town America, which looks like it's going to be kind of fun, even though there wasn't any fights in World War II in the homeland of America. It'll be pretty cool to see 1950s America have a little bit of the chaos from before. Alright, there's been some major rebalancing with pretty much most of the stats. The cost for research with a lot of these items have actually really jumped up. We can look over here. Actually, but before you even get that far, you can notice there's been some major changes here. A lot of the tanks have moved over. The T-30 is now I think move over down to tank destroyers. Yeah, it's over tank destroyers. It was a tier 10 heavy, I believe. Now this T110E5 is there. The 9s have moved over. Got the M103. Before, I'm not sure what it was. It might have been the T34 down in that position, and I think that's moved over to premium. So we'll go ahead and check real quick in the store. Try to find some heavy tanks, Americans. Let's see, I believe it's been moved over to premiums. Yeah, T34 is now a premium tank, so it's not there anymore. They've also added a whole bunch more new tanks, or I should say tank destroyers for the U.S. A whole bunch. I don't know which side, if they're probably just all mixed in here. The M8A1, 49, the Hellcat, yeah. At least it looks like they're all pretty much new ones here. A whole bunch of new tank destroyers. Most of them have rotating turrets, which is going to be nice for you guys who like some tank destroyers over on the U.S. side. I have not worked much in the U.S. Just a couple of SPGs, artillery over here. My tank destroyers right now. I'm just working on the Hetzer for Germany. And what else we got? They got new qualification badges. I haven't seen them yet. They probably won't come up for a week. Qualification badge will actually, if you're in the top 50% of experience for a certain tank or artillery piece for the last week, then you can get a badge. The first badge is class 3, and it's above the 50% average. Then class 2 is for the top 20%. Class 1, top 5%, and the Master Driver badge is in the top 1% for that vehicle. So that's kind of a cool little thing. I don't think there's any bonus. It's more like an achievements kind of thing, but a little bit of bragging points if you need that on your vehicle. A reason to keep that thing around. And that's most of it there. There's also been some retooling of costs all across the board. If you want to see the notes, I mean, you can go through the notes, but or at least one that I noticed right off the bat, which I thought was kind of funny. In Germany, I've got the Hetzer here, and you've got two different ways you can go through the Hetzer. You can go through the Panzerjäger 1 and the Marauder 2 to get to the Hetzer, and I did it the untraditional method, which is go through the Panzerkraft 38 in A. And the old price for this guy right here was actually 2,120 experience. So it's more than doubled for the price of that Hetzer. And that's all over the place. There's large increases in the prices of tanks. This is just one big one that I noticed specifically. It's going to be much cheaper to go the tank destroyer route here. But that's all over the place. They did retool the amount of profit that you get for each tank, especially through Tier 4, which is great. No, it's been good for me. I mean, I'm in Tier 4, but when I switch over to Tier 5, it's been retooled. So you have some benefits and some that aren't benefiting as much. But up to Tier 4, you're going to basically be getting more money for the fights that you go into, which is really great in Tier 3 and Tier 4 when you start fighting tanks that are going to be much more powerful. The Tier 1, Tier 2, you're fighting the same guys at the same level. But like these Tier 4 light tanks, there's nothing worse than going into a match and finding out you're at the bottom and everybody else is Tier 9 and Tier 10 and you're your little Tier 4 light tank. But those are some of the changes I noticed. One last item that I can think of that we go through, obviously some graphical changes that are nice and pretty. You'll see it when you get into the game. But this little triangle over here on the right, that is going to be the guy that's going to get a little bit of experience boost. And I believe this was in the game before. As you can see, Private First Class Dylan Archdale has 76%, a little bit more bonus than these other guys. But a Private First Class Von Lane will be getting an experience bonus on his next fight. So it's a good time to go ahead and take advantage of that. Thanks for tuning in, and have fun playing some World of Tanks. This is Red Outlander, and you have a good night.